You're listening to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast, the show that proves no one stumbles upon success ever. With your host, Lunide. Every Mondays and Thursdays, we deliver cold hard evidence behind the power of a robust morning routine. Get ready to be transformed by the renewal of your mind.
All right, morning enthusiasts, welcome to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast. I am your host, Lunide Lewis, and today I have a solo episode for you. I am super excited for it, but first, we need to have a heart-to-heart. See, right now I have over 3,000 downloads, which tells me that you are listening every Monday and every Thursday. I am pumped and I am honored that you are tuning in to hear me and the extraordinary men and women entrepreneurs who comes on the show. Now, my challenge is the number of ratings the show is currently getting. As of today, the show is at 41 ratings, and the ratings are essentially how many stars you give the show. And right now, there's only 41 ratings, and that is 41 people who went into iTunes, Spotify, wherever they listen to their podcast, and click on the stars to leave a glowing ratings. Now, all these 41 stars ratings are 5 stars. So I ponder, what happened to the rest of you? If there's 3,500 downloads so far and only 41 ratings, the numbers does not equate, right? So how are you showing your appreciation for this great content that I put out every Monday and every Thursday? Leaving a rating is so simple. It is literally clicking on the star, and just like that, you will get a message that says, submitted. Thank you for your feedback. That's it. Done, and done. Guys, I enjoy this podcast. And if you enjoy this podcast, if you enjoy me, if you enjoy my guests, please leave us your feedback. I am not asking for reviews. Those are more time consuming. And I understand you are busy, too busy for that at the moment. But 5-star ratings are super simple. Literally, it's just going in and clicking on the star and it will submit right there and then. It'll take seconds of your day. Because I want you to understand, I want to continue to create this content for you. But I am going to have to ask you to let me know how I am doing. Is this working? Is it adding value to you? Please share with me and rate us today. All right, morning enthusiasts. Now that I got that off my chest, I got a great show in store for you. Today, we are going to dive into understanding how the mind works. Now, I learned this technique from the monk Dandapani. If you haven't heard of him or read his story, looking up, he is phenomenal. He is a monk. He gave up his life to be a monk for 21 years old. As soon as he graduated with his engineering degree, he packed up and moved to Hawaii and went to a monastery and was going to be a monk for the rest of his life. He came out 10 years later and has been teaching all over the world. And I'm going to share with you what I learned from him in this episode. So Dandapani said that there are 2 things we need to understand. Number 1, awareness, and number 2, the mind. He defined awareness as a glowing ball of light that can float around. And then he went on to define the mind as a vast space with many different areas within it. One area of the mind is angry, it's hatred, jealousy, joy, sex, food, art, science, technology, it's learning. It's a whole bunch of different other things. You see, your awareness, that ball of light, can actually move throughout the brain. It can move to any area of the mind you want it to go to. So if your awareness, this glowing ball of light, goes to the happy area of the mind, it lights up that particular area of the mind. You become conscious of being happy. Does this mean you're happy now? Well, not really. This simply means you're in a area of the mind called happiness. So this glowing light is now shining in this section of the brain called happiness. And we can get technical and scientific about this. That's a later episode, but I want to give you the idea so you can grasp it. So if this same ball of light goes to the angry area of the mind, it lights up that particular area of the mind. Are you angry? No. You're in an area of the mind called anger. So by using your willpower and your power to concentrate, you can actually take your awareness, this ball of light, to any area of the mind that you want it to go. Do you recall the episode on thoughts become things? When I talked about this possession of your mind, how you can direct your mind in any direction you want it to go. I find that the problem with not doing this simple task is that we don't know how to do it. We don't know how to direct our mind. We don't know how to direct it to the things that we want. So if we learn and when we learn how to direct our mind, life becomes the manifestation of where you direct your energy. That's it. It's that simple. If you control where your awareness goes, you control where your energy is flowing. Essentially, you control what is manifesting in your life. Right now, you are the sum total of where you have been investing your energy throughout your entire life. Your thoughts have become your reality. The people you hang out with have shaped your life. Because all day we allow people and things around us to dictate where our awareness goes in our mind. People and things are two of the biggest consumers of energy. And as you may have it, people and things also give us and give you a lot of energy. So there's the conundrum. When do we give and when do we take? That's a tough question. Each day we have a finite amount of energy. We take our energy and we invest it in people and things around us. We keep investing and investing and investing until we have no more energy left. And that's what happens by the end of the night. We get so exhausted around 10 and 11 p.m. So we go to sleep. Our energy builds up again during our sleep and recovery session. And then we wake up the next day. We go out and we invest our energy into people and things until we have no more energy. This cycle repeats itself day in and day out. But the one thing most people don't do is we never evaluate who and what we're investing our energy in. So you oughta treat energy the same way you treat money. It's a finite, limited resource that needs to be wisely managed, wisely reallocated, and wisely invested. You wouldn't just invest anything without thinking it through or doing your due diligence before actually flushing your money down the toilet, would you? It's the same thing with energy. It needs to be better managed. And I will walk you through the steps on how to do this. So I don't know about you, but as I was growing up, even in Haiti, education in Haiti, we used to get beat in school if we got an answer wrong, if we were not concentrating, or if we weren't paying attention in class. So if we got an answer wrong, we learned to memorize, especially vocabulary and math, learning French and learning Creole, and sometimes trying to learn English in Haiti as well. If there was a test or spelling bee and we got an answer wrong, the teacher was allowed to take a ruler and have us put our hands in a fist and actually hit our knuckles with that ruler. That was the way for us to associate that we forgot an item, we got hit on our knuckles so that we won't forget it next time. So we associated learning with some pain. I'm not saying it's the perfect system, but that's how I was raised. And that was one way we learned. We learned to memorize. And if we derailed from that and we started talking and chatting in class, we would hear, focus, concentrate, Lunide, get your attention back here, focus. But I honestly don't ever recall anybody sitting me down and showing me how to concentrate, how to focus, right? Besides getting hit by a ruler, that got my attention for sure. That don't get this answer wrong or you will be punished. But on all realness, I was never taught how to focus. I was never taught how to concentrate. So We get told to concentrate at a young age, but never got taught how to do it. No one sat me down and explained to me this is how to concentrate. Did anyone teach you? Because I'm curious. In America, is it done differently? See,
Just like you,
I learned math, I learned English, but I never learned how to focus. I never learned how to concentrate. And the American school system does not do this as well. Because I've been here since, I did middle school here, I did high school, I did my master's, I did my bachelor's, I did my PhD. No one, not one time, this is what, over 12 years of schooling, right? No one, not one person sat me down and said, Lunide, this is how you concentrate. This is how you focus. So now, as an adult, we have mastered distraction. We have mastered how to multitask. We have not learned how to concentrate. We've learned how to do the opposite. So if you want to really be good at concentration, you need to practice it, just like anything else. People are good at distractions because that's what we practice all day long. A text comes on, the phone dings, and our awareness and attention goes towards that. Somebody walks into the room and we drop the phone and we're looking up, and now this person has our attention. A butterfly flutters around. That butterfly now has our awareness. You name it. And this happens day in and day out. It happens over and over again. We don't know how to concentrate. And you know what happens? We have mastered distraction. Some people are so good at distraction, like my boss currently. You'll be talking to her and the phone goes off. She looks down at it and then she'll look up and have a conversation with you. And then she'll look at email, look at IM, all of that. Not only is it rude, not only is it disrespectful, but I cannot imagine what it's doing to her brain. But besides the point is, some people, I would say like her, have mastered the art of distraction. She is now an expert in this. And a lot of us are. A lot of people are. They're so good at it because they practice it all the time that they ought to be giving speeches about it, about distraction and how well they do it. Because if you really put it in perspective, if you were to practice playing the piano all day long, let's just say 6 to 8 hours, every day for 6 months, can you imagine how great of a player you would be? Well, it's the same thing with practicing distractions all day long, with social media, with everything else with all the information that comes at us on a daily basis. It is said that the average attention span for kids is only 7 seconds. Only 7 seconds. How can we make an impact with only 7 seconds of an attention span? How can we change the problems of the world if we can only focus for 7 daggone seconds? It's really sad. Again, we're not taught how to concentrate. We're not taught how to focus. So for me personally, my life is finite. So is yours, actually. We are all going to die one day. I make it a thing to be extremely clear where I focus my energy and where I focus my attention, where my awareness goes, right? Because where your awareness goes, it grows. So there's no point in learning how to concentrate if you don't know what to concentrate on. If you don't know what you want to grow, if you don't know what you want to evolve, if you don't know what you want, period. So to know yourself is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. It is self-actualization. And self-actualization means you've arrived. It means you are on a different plane, a plane of just peace, awareness, quick thinking, a plane of love for yourself, for others, and for everything, every being. So my point is, how do you know what to concentrate on? The way you will know what to concentrate on is to know thyself. So to know yourself is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. It is self-actualization. And that means you've arrived. Self-actualization is the ultimate goal. On a Maslow hierarchical chart, top of the pyramid is self-actualization. It means you're no longer worrying about your basic needs. You're no longer worrying about belonging and fitting in. You're no longer worrying about money. You have all that stuff is met. All those needs are met. And then on the top of the pyramid, the icing on the top of there, the cherry is self-actualization, because you can focus your energy on growth of yourself. And then if you can focus energy on growth of yourself, you will find a way to add value and add purpose, because it's no longer just about you trying to meet your basic needs. It's hard to think of others when you can't put food on the table. I understand that. I get that. I've been there. I have been on food stamps. I have been homeless. I've had to sleep in my car, crash with friends. They had cats. I'm allergic to cats. Couldn't do that very long. I was a student at the time, and this is me pursuing my PhD here in San Diego. And I was working at the nurse's office as a front desk assistant. And I would wait for the nurse to leave at the end of the day, and I would sleep in the office. I would get a blanket and put myself in a corner and sleep there. Well, that didn't last very long because the cleaning lady came and was startled to see me there at 7 a.m. No one is supposed to be there. The office don't open till 11 a.m. But that was my sleeping ground for the time being. When she came back the next day and found me sleeping there, she called the police, and the police had to escort me out of the office. You better believe it, I lost that job immediately. Talk about adding salt to the wound. Ay, 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 as we Asians like to say. Ay, ay, ay. It's hard to think about helping others when you don't have a roof over your head, when you're getting out of class and all you're thinking about is, am I going to sleep in my car again tonight? The struggle is real. I understand that. I get that. Those needs need to be met. I have been down that path, but you owe it to yourself to get to know who you are. Get to know yourself. Start spending time with yourself so that you can start changing your environment, so that you can start changing your circumstances, because life is really meant to be enjoyed and lived happily. And if you're not happy, something needs to change. It may start with you. It might be you. You may need to change before your lives begin to change. And that's why it's important you know yourself so that you can start tweaking the habits, the principles that you need to fine tune your skills and who you are so you can step into your glory, right? So you can step into that self-actualization that I am talking about. So how do you get there? How do you attain such self-actualization? How do you get to know yourself? Because it is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Well, you need to spend time with yourself. You need to quiet down. Tell me, what would you do if you had a client? You had a business client, a potential investor, a potential business partner, brand new, just making the connection. Somebody introduced you to them and you see the potential in the growth for your business or for your life and just the network that you got to have in your books, right? What would you do? What were the steps that you would take to get to know this person? Well, top of my head, I would take him out for tea. I would take him out to lunch. I would take him out to dinner. I would spend time with them. I would get to know them. I get to know their quirks. I get to know what they like. I get to know what they don't like. And I get to know what ticks them off. I get to know how they think and what value they hold between their two ears. Because that's important for the growth of my business. And it's also important for new friends as well. It's important to know these things about people that are in your circle because it's important for your growth as well. So those are the things you would do. You'd take them out, you'd get to know them, you'd spend time with them, and you would, after time, you'd learn some things about them, right? Well, the same thing goes for you. You need to start taking yourself out for coffee. You need to start taking yourself out to lunch and to dinner. You need to start spending some time with yourself. Explore your mind to start exploring who you are. You see, most people don't really understand themselves. They don't understand what they want in life. Therefore, they find it extremely difficult to focus their limited energy. They don't know where to focus their energy because they don't know what they want in life. They don't know what they want in life because they don't know who they are. They don't know who they are because they're not spending enough time with themselves. People seriously run away from themselves. It's unbelievable because you can't. You look left, there she is. You look right, there she is. You look up. Listen, you are in a body. You are a frequency, a body of energy. You're not going anywhere. You can't run from yourself. I find that people run away from their thoughts. And that's what I'm encouraging you not to do, to actually process and understand those thoughts. Because the minute you understand them, you can measure them, you can change them, you can start to tweak them, you can start getting rid of some stuff that don't belong. And then replacing them with the things that will promote your growth, that will promote your livelihood, your happiness, your joy in life, your purpose in life, guys. Come on. So how do you manifest something in your life? How do you manifest your purpose? You have to take your awareness and focus it on that one thing you want in life. Is it a purpose? Is it a business growth? Is it a new client? Is it an investor? What are you looking for? Is it a tool to organize your life? That's what I was looking for last week. I was seriously looking for a customer relation management tool. I was looking for a CRM tool. I have all this network, all these podcast guests that I'm now connected with, and I didn't have a way to organize it. Focused on it. Asked around. I asked my groups, people in my mastermind, people that I'm in connection with. I was like, what are you guys using? Help me. And within hours, I had one and I signed up, and now my world is organized. That's all it took. I know what I wanted. I focused on what I wanted, and I knew where to go to get it because I'm so tunnel vision, laser focused on what I need. But I wasn't always like that. I didn't always start out that way. There was a certain point of my life where I was very unhappy. I was on autopilot, going to work, going to school, and going to bed. That was life for me. There was no excitement. There was no giving back. It was just about me. And it was very lonely. But I was unhappy. And I find that a lot of other people are unhappy because they are on autopilot. You go to school, you go to work, you come home, you hang out with the kids, and then you do it all over again. That's not true happiness. Like, God wants you to live a fulfilled life. All things that are good and righteous comes from him, and he wants you to enjoy it lavishly, in abundance. So when I ask people, what do they want in life? They always respond with, they want to be happy. But here's the thing. Happiness should not be pursued. It should be ensued. Don't pursue happiness. Pursue a lifestyle that results in happiness. Yeah, your habits will create that lifestyle for you. Just like success is a byproduct of serving others, happiness is the result or a byproduct of your lifestyle. In your daily habits, design your lifestyle. Is your lifestyle filled with automated negative thought? Are you able to kill those ants? Is your lifestyle filled with negative people? Is it filled with anxiety, worry, anger? Is it filled with smoking, drinking alcohol, clubbing, chasing girls, riding in cars with boys? What's your current lifestyle? Do you practice a healthy morning routine? Do you work out daily? Are you eating a salad a day? Are you meditating? Are you spending time with yourself? Are you getting to know you? Who are you? Seriously. Guys, in order to find what your lifestyle is, you need to know what your purpose in life is. And in order to do that, you need to spend time with yourself. You need to spend time with yourself each day to find out who and what is important in your life, because it varies for everyone. What's important in my life, it may not be what's important in your life. It's going to change, and that's okay. But you won't know what that thing is until you know who you are. You spend those time with yourself. I like to go out camping. I like to disappear for a weekend, disconnect altogether from my fiance, from my family, from my cell phone, from work. I just check out. I go on top of a mountain. I go camping for 3 to 4 days, and I just go recharge. What I do there, I spend time in nature. I spend time alone. I bring a book, I bring my journal, I bring my hiking shoes, and I bring a tent. And that's my weekend. It is so rejuvenating. It is so recharging. And I come back refilled, recharged, ready to go, because now I have a better sense of who I am. I spend some time with myself, sometimes without taking a shower because it's in the wood. You make it work, but you get to know that about yourself. How long can you go without deodorant? Some of us don't know that. Or we do a little too well. But in any case, you gotta devote the time to get to know you so you can know what is important in your life, because that's what you will need to focus on. That's what you will begin to manifest. So if you don't know what you want, you manifest all random stuff. You become a general being that like attracts randomness, that like it is not correlating. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't connect in any way because you don't have your one thing. You don't know what your thing is that's important in your life to focus on, because you don't focus on one thing. What is the saying? You stand for nothing, you stand for everything. So you need to take that finite amount of energy that you have, that each of us are blessed with every morning, and focusing on the things you do want. And that one thing will start to manifest into your life. That's it. That's the secret to happiness. I just unlocked the key to happiness for you, free of charge. Well, you pay in 5-star ratings. don't forget, guys, you gotta rate the show. You gotta go click in and give it 5 stars because that's how other people are gonna be able to find it. If the ratings are high, they're 5 stars, there's a lot of them in numbers. So I need your numbers. Right now, only 41 people have done it, and I need your rating. Your rating is important for me. Your rating is important for the show. Your rating is important for the show to continue to grow and continue to be provided. So it's simple. Go rate the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast. Now that I'm off this soapbox, as I call it. So now what? You know, as a professor, I have to give you homework. You remember that handy dandy notebook I had you write your goals on for the episode Thoughts Become Things? Well, of course you do. Well, pull it out because I want you to write down in it 3 things. This is going to help you identify who you are and what you want. And it's going to take some honesty from you. So I want you to write down 3 things in your notebook. Number 1, I want you to write your name, comma, I am proud of you for ... And under that first question, I want you to list out 3 things that you are proud of yourself, proud of you for. Number 2, I want you to write again, your name, comma, I forgive you for ... And then list out 3 things you forgive yourself for. And the third item, you will write, you know it, your name, comma, I commit to you ... And then you go ahead and list out 3 things you will commit to yourself going forward. So A, B, C. Now, let me share with you my examples. For my number 1, I put that Lunide, I am proud of you for pushing through your insecurities about not being good enough to find true love and to be loved. You see, for a long time, I didn't feel worthy. I was not good enough to be loved. I believe that I was used good and no one could ever love me. Well, that took some work, a lot of digging in and a lot of working to build my character to actually get out of that funk. And I am proudly and happy to say that I am engaged to be married next year. I got engaged January 13, 2019, after being in a 2-year relationship with my fiance. Before that, I was single for 7 years prior to that, doing the grunt work of feeling worthy, loving myself, getting to know myself. I was in school, I was a student, I was on homeless in the process, I was on food stamps in the process, but I was on a journey to self-actualization. I was on a journey to self-growth. I was on a journey to an abundance and growth mindset. That was 7 years of my life. And then I learned to love myself. I got to know myself so well that I knew what ticked me off. I learned when I need to recharge, that I need to unplug and go camping. I love traveling international. I have gone backpacking internationally by myself. I freaking backpacked through the Grand Canyon solo and stay there for a few nights. My point is, it took some grunt work for me to realize that I am now worthy because I got to know myself. I spent time with myself to love myself. And because I'm able to love myself, my fiance comes along and I'm ready. I'm prepared because I don't need him to complete me now. I don't need my fiance to complete me. I need him to complement me. See, I'm already whole without him because I spent that time. I know who I am. Now he comes along, we're just gonna do magic together. But I'm not gonna depend on him to make me whole, to complete me, to deal with my emotional baggage because I don't have those anymore. Even when I travel, we make this joke I have a carry-on and a backpack. I have no luggage, no baggage whatsoever. And that's a metaphor for my life. I no longer have any baggage and I don't need anyone helping me with my baggage. You understand? You want to know yourself and love yourself so much that you are whole, you are complete. If anyone comes along, they will compliment you. So for my number 2, I said, Lunide, I forgive you for blaming yourself for being molested at the age of 11 through 13 years old. Lunide, I forgive you for not being able to protect your little sister from your stepfather at that age. I really felt powerless as a child, as you can see by these affirmations, right? I felt so powerless that I needed to control everything around me. Number 3, I wrote down for myself, the example is, Lunide, I commit to you to protect you, to protect your energy and where it goes. Lunide, I commit to you to seek God to drown out your fears in perfect love. Lunide, I commit to get to know you, to spend time with you. Lunide, I commit to love you. I commit to use your shortcomings as your superpower. Those are my examples. And I want you to do that for the next 2 weeks until our next solo episode, y'all. Take the time to do this. You will be amazed what comes up for you. I urge you to be honest. Be honest with yourself. So the next step, I am going to ask you to do mirror work. And I will break down what that means on our next solo episode together. We will talk about the 3 main ingredients necessary to manifest anything and what you want in your life. I would love to hear from you. Feel free to email me some of the things that came up for you. You can email me at my personal email address, lunide@bmrever.com. So it's Lunide, spelled Lunide, at B like boy, M like Mary, or like Roxy, the word ever, EVER.com. Lunide@bmrever.com. I look forward to hearing from you. You got to be prepared for the opportunity, because if you really want to change, you will do the work. All right, morning enthusiasts, I will see you at the top of your best morning routine ever. Stay blessed.
All right, morning enthusiasts, that's it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in. If you love the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast, we'd love to hear from you. So go ahead and subscribe, rate, and give a review on iTunes or Google Play. While you're at it, tell a friend about the show. Be sure to visit bestmorningroutineever.com and our Facebook group to join the conversation, access the show notes, and discover our fantastic free bonus content. Until next time,